Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob, and today on the channel we are checking out a crowdfunding campaign. Haven't done one of these in a while, but we've been doing these for years and years and years. We're going to take a look at Earthborne Rangers, a card game from Earthborne Games. Their second crowdfunding campaign is about to launch in 5 minutes. So we're doing this live. We're going to check out the campaign and see what's on offer. And the reason I'm doing this is because we are currently playing through the original printing of the core set right now on the channel. We're actually streaming tonight, day 10. So we have quite a few hours of the campaign played already, but we've not finished it or anything. But I figured I would do a stream just kind of looking at the crowdfunding campaign and talking about it separate from our basically weekly playthroughs. So that way we're not off topic, but you know, having a full hour conversation during an episode in the middle of a playthrough series where people might not want to see spoilers and might not join in for episode 11 of our campaign to find out about a crowdfunding campaign or what we think of the game. So I figured I would do this separate stream so people who want to avoid spoilers, don't want to watch our series, can kind of hear my thoughts. I wish Mel could join me and give her thoughts too, but you'll have to watch the playthrough series for her thoughts because I don't know what's going on in that head. Anyways, just kidding. She likes it, of course, you guys know, but full disclosure, I am not being paid to make this video. I don't care if you back it. I don't get a kickback or anything. I purchased this just like any other consumer on the first crowdfunding campaign with funds, basically from these people who support us here and allow me to do this full time. I'm not being paid by the publisher here to promote this. I wasn't given a copy of the game. I'm not being paid to play it on my channel. I'm doing it because I want to. I play what I want and do what I want. It's Rob's Gaming Table, not paid for publisher promotion channel. So I'm doing this as a consumer and as a content creator. So keep that in mind. Everything I say, like, I don't care. I'm not burning bridges or whatever. I might say negative things. I might say positive things. It's all gonna be open and honest. So if you're here and you just love this game and you don't want to hear anything negative, like I say in most of my playthroughs or videos, go away, because, you know, I might say some things that'll hurt your feelings that maybe think it's not a perfect game, or you might not feel as justified where you spend your money because you're looking for, like, you know, confirmation bias kind of stuff. But you're not going to get that here, okay? No reassurance here, but I'll give my open, honest thoughts. We'll kind of look through it. If you're new to the channel, you don't know that, but if you've been here for a while, you know what to expect. Yeah, I do it my own way here, and if you don't like that, go watch somebody else. There you go. Now that that's out of the way, hello everybody. Thank you for joining live. Hello, hello. if you're watching later, feel free to leave me your thoughts down below on the crowdfunding campaign, or what your thoughts are on the game, because other people could benefit from that information while they're looking at this crowdfunding campaign as a second way to get into the game. It's going to be a reprint, some expansions, I believe, and it launches in a few minutes, actually. Actually launches in less than 2 minutes. So hopefully they don't announce it's going to be delayed. This is a problem doing this live and having no connection with the publisher at all. I don't know if all of a sudden it gets delayed because something goes wrong or the website crashes or something like that. So this could be a pretty horrible stream. Cool part though, I can just delete this after and no one will ever know, except those who are here live. Excellent. Hello. I also put a link in the chat to the crowdfunding campaign. So you can find it. It's also down in the video description for those watching later. If you want to check it out, follow along with us and look at things, or bring up anything that I don't notice, you know, that kind of stuff. This is a two-way discussion here, okay? Remember, I'm just like you guys. I'm interested in maybe spending some money here. I'm not looking for handouts, so we're gonna look at it and I'll kind of judge it. Do I buy expansions? Do I buy some cool mats? I don't know. What are they offering here? Let's take a look at it, you know, that kind of thing. Do I just wait for retail? Do I just not worry about it? We'll see. But it is launching soon. And for those that don't know the game, 2 things I recommend. Go look up some reviews, or what you can do is go look at our first episode or first 2 episodes of our campaign. I have linked that down below in the video description. We teach how the game's played. We play through a full session and discuss our thoughts in that without too many spoilers in the first couple episodes. So that'd be a good starting spot if you're like, want to do some research before throwing your money away. So yeah, that's just a thing. So yeah. Anyone, let's do a poll. Are you backing? Are you buying anything in this campaign? No. Just core set. Only expansions. I'm buying that one. Okay, I don't know. I can only put 4 options in a poll, but just for fun, I put a poll in the chat. If you're watching live, you can vote just for silliness kind of sake. But it's, are you buying anything in this campaign? The options are no, just the core set, only expansions, or I'm buying everything. Now, some of you might only be buying like, I'm just here for the playmats or something. I don't have an option for you, I'm sorry. Maybe you can click only expansions, because it's like kind of like add-on stuff, right? I should have put add-on stuff to the core set or something. Rob says, is there something you'd like to see in expansion, Rob? The issue is I haven't finished the main game. I don't know what the expansions are. I think one of them I know is adding more player cards. I did see that when I looked the other day. And I'm sure there's more locations and things, like just more cards for all the decks and stuff. I don't know, just more things. I wish a lot of that stuff was available to add in right away, because it kind of makes it feel like if they're just beefing up the current decks and you're wandering around the same locations, am I going to play it again to experience that stuff? You know, it's kind of like good things come to those people who wait, is what I would say. So if you're getting into it now, you might be able to jam all the expansion stuff together and your world will feel more varied than my playthrough. But so far I'm having a good time, and I kind of don't care what they add, because I'm still exploring the base stuff, and I feel like I'm getting much value out of the money I put in, versus how many hours we played so far and how many more hours we'll probably play. So I don't know. And I wish this wasn't happening right now. I wish this was happening in like 6 months after I've already played the game fully, and I can decide whether I feel like I want more. So right now they're kind of catching, this is a smart thing, like Gloomhaven did this, Seventh Continent did this, where the first campaign didn't really do so well, like not many people talked about it. And then people got it, and then word of mouth spread, people were excited. It turned out to be better than expected maybe. And then the second crowdfunding campaign is where everyone kind of got into it and, you know, took a second look, and it wasn't so risky to get into it because they'd already done it before, right? So I think that's what might be happening here, but we'll see. But they're hitting right when like people started playing it. So like, as with a lot of crowdfunding games, they put a lot of stuff in a list, you know, to make you feel like the money you're spending on all these components and these hours and all this stuff that's in the box and all these expansions, all these extra components and FOMO, and you can't get this anywhere else. Back now, back now. All that stuff in there usually makes a great first impression, because you can sell a game on crowdfunding. You can sell a board game to anyone on crowdfunding if you make the initial first look, first impression, first playthrough, first couple hours of play, make it look amazing on the table, make the content look amazing. But what we find with a lot of these campaign games on crowdfunding is they kind of just get repetitive. They maybe kind of get boring after a while. They maybe are more fluff than substance. They're just stretched out to be stretched out. They're just full of meaningless grinding that's not interesting and not fun, and the lack of discovery really shows. And it's all about that first impression to kind of sell you a box full of plastic and cardboard and not worry about the after effects, right? So a lot of these games are amazing that first playthrough. Like, oh my God, I played this game called, let's say, Oathsworn. Oh my God, the first playthrough, this is great, amazing, like such a great presentation. And then you play it a bunch and you realize, ooh, kind of mediocre, kind of losing interest, kind of boring. Just one example, you know, kind of thing. And then you're like, wait, why was it delayed for so many years? And, you know, why was it so expensive? And weird. Maybe I got into the marketing and the hype, you know? So who knows if that's what's going to happen here? Who knows if that's what's going to happen here? I haven't played through all of it yet, so we'll see. If you end up deleting this due to issues, be sure to check out the BGG again so I can update the data. Hey, George, thanks for doing that, by the way. Yeah, here's your data. Here's your data. It might change. It might change between today and tonight. I don't know when they refresh databases and stuff, right? It probably should be the same. But we should be able to look at this now, right? I'm going to refresh. Okay, there's a trailer here to watch, which I did watch this morning. They posted it early. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I'm not going to play it here now. You guys can, again, check out the link that's pinned in the comments. Or pinned in the chat. Sorry, pinned in the chat. And you can check out the video yourself and play it. I don't need to be flagged on YouTube for some music or something that gets played in there. All right, 83 people are like, take my money already. Live backing. Oh yeah, I also have this in US dollars, FYI. Is the setting I have selected. That's just default would load it up. I'm not logged in or anything, so it's not pulling any of that stuff. Project. Playtime 90 minutes. Okay. Has awesome art, we know this. Earthborne Rangers, okay. Oh yeah, maybe some of you guys have never heard of this game. Maybe you're here the first time and you're like, what the hell is Rob making a separate video for this? He barely ever does it, only for things that he likes. So yeah, maybe you don't know. Maybe you clicked on it and you're like, I didn't want to watch your campaign. Now, why are you making this video? Earthborne Rangers is a sustainably produced, cooperative adventure card game set in the wilderness of the far future. You begin by building a deck that reflects your character's personal history. Then as you explore the open world and your story takes shape, you'll augment your deck with improved equipment, refined skills, and the memories of your journey. Okay, that's accurate so far, based on our many hours of play that we've done. Yeah, okay. Nice little tagline. So the sustainably produced, though, I do like that they're kind of making it so like literally I could take the game and compost it. But then one of the downsides that has happened that I've seen online and my own experience with it is because they're not using plastic coating on the cards and it's just like biodegradable paper, the cards kind of like warp and they're not the best quality. Like they look beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I can read everything on them. The colors pop. They're great. But you can tell they feel kind of like cheap. They're kind of like, they feel like old cards from like the 80s, 90s, like cheap packs of baseball cards that should have like gum slid in them, you know? They're kind of like meant to be just thrown away. They're like sold to children kind of quality, you know, like old baseball cards and hockey cards and stuff back in the day. That's kind of like the vibe I get, or old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards, you know? Not as bad as those. I know they had like a back on them that wasn't coated and a front that was and stuff. But basically what I'm trying to get to is it is very accepted with this game, and they even made the insert compatible for it, is for you to buy sleeves. And there are hundreds of cards that are in this game, which means you're buying hundreds of sleeves. Sleeves are plastic. They are probably less biodegradable than the plastic coating that would be on cards to give them that good feel and protection. If you're reusing sleeves and all that kind of thing, sleeves will last a while, but you still are required to buy a bunch of thick, you know, bad for the environment plastic to cover this game up, because it really requires it because of the lower quality of cards, because it's missing that plastic durability. So not everyone will sleeve it, I know this, but it's just weird that that like became a side effect, is like you must sleeve it, which totally ruins the whole, I'm not going to buy sleeves that are, you know, made in China, shipped across the sea. And also this game being shipped one-off to everybody through crowdfunding is like probably the worst way you for the environment you can like ship a product like individually one by one to every person, right? But then again, like if it was only in certain stores, you would still have to drive to those stores to buy it, or you'd still order it from those stores. I don't know the best way to do it, but yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, anyways, sustainable sleeves, is that a thing? I don't know. But it's just funny. I think it's like, it's sustainably produced, but you must spend a bunch of money on sleeves that are not sustainably produced, because the cards themselves can't kind of be used for long. But again, if you're okay with that, that's fine. I like the idea of that. I like the idea that it's like their game is not going to ruin the environment if you stop playing it, and, you know, eventually just throw it out in your backyard. It'll, you know, it'll turn into mulch and whatever eventually in a few years or something. But yeah, it's definitely a cool thing to do it. I like it. I hope it's the way the world goes, but they'll get there, right? It's the first kind of game to try that, I think, that I know of. So, but just for a card game, people love to sleeve that stuff anyway. So, but yeah, just interesting. It's funny how that turned out. When you play Earthborne Rangers, the world is yours to explore. Tread the critical path or strike off on your own to discover the valleys, many engaging characters, mysterious ruins, and wildlife, both familiar and strange. The story you tell is your own, and no two playthroughs need be the same. Yeah, I could see that. I see a lot of locations and stuff, a lot of missions, a lot of cards that are in my box, my core set, that we've not touched. I don't know how long the campaign goes for. I'm sure there's more areas of the map we've not even gone near, and I know this is a thing, but basically the bottom half of the map we've never explored, kind of like half the map. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I still have the game set up on the table because we are playing it tonight. Here, I can show you. So this map comes in the game. It's like a paper map, right? And it's not spoilers, like you need this right away. And there's different terrain and stuff that helps you kind of determine which two decks. So we're about to go to a location that has like this terrain and cards from here to build the location to show like people you're going to meet that are in that location. But different locations have their own decks and stuff. But we've only kind of explored like up here a little bit, but there's many places we've never been to. And there's many people we've met at certain places that you won't meet at those places in your playthrough, because some of it's like random how they show up, or you decide you want to take on a side quest. Again, the best way I can describe this game is like open sandbox, kind of like, you know, Skyrim, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, any of those kind of open world sandbox games where they have a main quest and tons of little NPCs and side quests and stuff you can pursue or not pursue and at your own leisure. So the way you go is, even in the main story, there have been options where like we could go to one of 5 different locations to push the main story. It's our choice, which way we want to go, what terrain we want to deal with, how we want to get there in some cases, which is really cool. So we're just starting to kind of explore some stuff down here, which we've never really been there before. So that's where we're at. And again, we're like 11 episodes, like 10 days or sessions into the scenario, or into the campaign, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I think that map is like the best way to show like kind of the sandbox nature of this game and how cool it is. And like, it's what keeps pulling me in and wanting to explore more, and the random things that happen in the flora and the fauna and the animals and all of this stuff. I know that's part of that, but you know, how they interact and how they you know, to you and to the things in their environment. It's really cool how they put that into like an LCG card game, which feels Fantasy Flight made, but it's not from Fantasy Flight, but it's from a bunch of former employees from Fantasy Flight, if that makes sense. So again, if you like Arkham Horror LCG, Lord of the Rings LCG, Marvel Champions, the mechanics, the playstyle, the cooperative card game nature, the deck building, you know, the battling against the deck in the game and stuff, and adventuring and exploring, kind of like Lord of the Rings, going to different locations and stuff, having missions and pressure, kind of like the story of Arkham Horror, the storytelling of Arkham Horror LCG, but a more chill forest ranger kind of like exploration. You know, the world can harm you, but not trying to just end your life every 2 seconds. It's like it feels like Arkham LCG, but the opposite of it, theme-wise, if that makes sense. But yeah. So here's a comment. Earthborne Rangers feels like it breaks generally new ground in open world tabletop games. The result is something that feels like a card-driven adaptation of, this is what I said. This guy says the same thing I did. I was like, is this my comment? Breath of the Wild, yeah. Exactly what it feels like. Yeah, it feels a lot like it. Like even some of the art and stuff feels like it. So if you like that kind of theme, that's what it feels like. Okay, lots of comments, or quotes, I should say. Okay, where's the goods? What's in the core game? $80 core pledge, save 20% off our MSRP. But then if you buy it online after, most retailers will sell it below MSRP and then probably not charge you the shipping you'll be charged in the crowdfunding campaign. So yeah, that's like standard. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I wonder if we can find the price of the game. Let's look. Because the advantage is we actually have the game out at retail, right? I think it's only at retail through, let's see here. It's only at retail through like stores that maybe backed it. I don't know. Let's switch to America. Earthborne Rangers. I'm just using boardgameoracle.com. I don't know, it's the only website I know that like I can quickly see some prices. Yeah, see, it's only stores that probably back the crowdfunding. So this is not widely available in retail, but there's your price that Miniature Market was willing to sell it for and Game Nerds was willing to sell it for. So $80 and $100. So maybe this game isn't going to be cheaper than MSRP like most crowdfunding games that show up at retail. But again, this I don't think was delivered through retail or through the normal retail distribution channels. It was just those stores probably backed crowdfunding or something. Who knows? Through like a retailer pledge, you know? Let's check Canada. 401 and Board Game Bliss. Yeah, these guys are both known to like go through retailer pledging channels. So like they'll get a little discount, they'll order a small order, and then they kind of sell it there. It didn't go through distribution the normal way in big mass quantities. So yeah, $100 Canadian. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Successful Geeks here. Hello. Hey Rob, so I backed the gameplay all in because I'm enjoying Marvel Champions so much. I bounced off of Arkham Horror LCG, but curious about having another LCG in my life. I need to watch some more of your campaign to get a better feel of the game flow. Okay. Yeah, the game flow feels just like you're like kind of like how you'd sit down and play Lord of the Rings LCG, Marvel Champions, or Arkham Horror. Like you build a deck, you go through turns, you spend resources to kind of play cards and do skill checks on certain things, and where you spend more effort on a skill check and more resources to complete a skill check is the same idea. And instead of pulling a token from a bag for Arkham Horror with auto fails, there's no auto fail in this. Again, picture like everything you tried in Arkham Horror LCG that you hated because maybe the game was like meant to be difficult to add to replayability, right? Part of some games will make themselves really hard because there's not much on a replay, but like they'll just have you lose so you replay again, kind of like the old 1980s video game or arcade kind of like difficulty for replayability, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to say. Rather than giving you alternate paths, alternate endings, just more content you won't see on a playthrough. This game, it's all about seeing different options and different content when you play through again versus, I think, just kicking your butt. I have a feeling there's alternate endings in this, but I don't know for sure. I've never beaten it. But yeah, it feels to me like I'm sitting down with Mel and we're playing 2-player Arkham Horror, except for it's more chill, more fun. The discovery's there. Not fun. Fun is like not the right word what I'm trying to say. It's like a different feeling of fun. Like the other one has to be the way it is. Arkham has to be the way it is because of the theme, right? They tied the theme to those super daunting, you feel like you're losing all the time, but then you can win, you know, and like it's really fun and the story's super cool and there is discovery there. But this game, it's more about like, you know, make the choice. If there's a rules issue, just make the choice that's better for you. Like you're not going to pull an auto fail out of the bag that makes you want to flip the table. Like at least that I know of. I don't know if the game's going to shuffle one in or the expansion adds one. I don't know, but you're still just doing skill checks, flipping something random card or kind of like pulling a token out of the bag and seeing if you pass or fail. It's very similar to Arkham LCG, the feel and mechanics, but the theme is like the complete opposite. That's the best way I can describe it from a high level, if that makes sense. Which is also not for everyone, right? So if you're more like you know, Lord of the Rings LCG, you love the exploring, but like that game is really rough too. It's really hardcore. It's like the first cooperative LCG, right? This game wouldn't exist without Lord of the Rings LCG. It's literally trying to scoop the same audience. It's really trying to go after the same audience of those LCGs, even Marvel Champions kind of. But it's more like a marriage between Lord of the Rings, Arkham Horror, and then kind of like Zelda Breath of the Wild kind of sprinkled all over it, if that makes sense. So like, you know, like there is harm and there is negative things to watch out for, but it's like more chill. I don't know. That's the best way I can kind of describe it. But again, I'm only 10 episodes in. I don't know if the game flips itself on its head and all of a sudden it turns into like a crazy gruel fest and we're about to die and the campaign's going to be over and the world ends and blows up. I don't know. Cthulhu comes out of a mountain. I have no idea if that happens in this game. So who knows? But that's the best way I can describe it. But again, the cool part is, just like those LCGs, you can just buy a core set. Here's the difference though. I don't know what a price of a core set for like Arkham LCG is, like the new core set, but that core set only comes with like a 3-scenario campaign. It comes with, you know, enough player cards, probably similar to what you get in this game. But this game, I don't know how many sessions, but the campaign log has like 30 days on it. And I don't know if it goes past that or shorter than that. I don't know if this is just, they filled up the page. I don't know if we're about to end. I have no idea. I don't know if we're like 2 episodes away from the end of the campaign. I have no clue. But also the missions. I don't want to show this too close, but for spoilers and stuff. But you can see the amount of missions you can write in here. We've almost filled half of it. So I feel like we might be coming around the halfway through the game. But again, we might get sidetracked on some side quests and literally play sessions not pushing the main story. I don't know. And make it take much longer. Who knows? I have no idea. But you get all that in the core set. So if you're willing to play through it and you're enjoying it, I think you get way more content in this core set than you do out of any FFG core sets, for sure. If that makes sense. And it seems like it's replayable based on how many options we've had to go down different main story paths and how many side quest options we've seen and declined or ignored, and we could go after them still maybe. So yeah, that's just where I'm at. So if that sounds good to you, but again, if you don't like it and you don't like the mechanics of building a deck, sitting down, going through the motions, the phases, and like, you know, battling a deck of cards, it's not going to change that, right? And if you have no interest in the theme or the art, maybe it's not for you either. So I'm not here to sell you on this game. I don't care if you buy it or not. I'm just here to look at it selfishly, if I want to buy expansions or not. And you guys have to watch. Too bad. If that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, 290 Ranger cards. So again, there's 4 different classes, a whole bunch. So it's weird. This is kind of like modular deck building, sort of. Like they have sets of cards. You have like a role, a background, and whatever. And you can mix and match and only take cards out of it. Think of it kind of like Marvel Champions. You're not forced to just take a defined set of cards and smash it together with whatever like your role card is. And even there's multiple roles to choose from for each aspect or whatever it's called in the box. And then you can basically pick a different card. These colorful cards, where are they? Oh, it doesn't show them. I think they're part of the Ranger cards. But basically you can tweak your Ranger stats by taking like kind of like your resource card to your aspect card. It's really neat, the deck building. And again, the PDF is online for the rules for this. If you're curious, there's like a two pages in the middle of the book, rule book. You can go read yourself on deck building to understand what's possible. And the cool part in the rule book, I'll show you here. Let's see, we can go. So in here, there's keywords and stuff, just like any other LCG, all the campaign stuff. Yeah, creating your Ranger. So you can pick a card like this, which means you're kind of like better at certain things. You have more resources to spend in like focus or spirit or awareness or whatever. And you can take this card independently of the role card you pick, your background, your specialty, and even you're allowed to take cards that are outside of your color pie faction, one card from another, but you're restricted based on how good you are at certain things. So there'll be certain cards in the game. Like this card, for example, in my deck, I need to have at least one fitness for me to even put this in my deck. And I also would have to be a conciliator, unless I took this as my outside interest. But there's like sets, right? So there's like choose your background. So you have artisan, forger, shepherd, traveler. So you choose your background. There's enough cards that this will handle 4 players out of 1 core set. And obviously, I'm assuming the expansions are going to add a ton of stuff to these, so then you can deck build even crazier. There's also a card doubler that I didn't buy, but it'll double up all these cards, so then players can literally build like pretty much the same deck if they wanted, or use cards that are in each other's decks. But I like the way it's kind of like, even though I pick conciliator, I might not have the requirements to put this card in my deck. So it's kind of fun how they, you know, how you pick this, what you want to be good at in your party, and then how it like kind of restricts your deck building. I like restrictions on deck building. I do. I am not a deck builder. I don't want to not waste time, but I don't like spending too much time doing this. I prefer to get right into it. And they do have pre-built decks on their website. The website is, I believe, linked down in the video description. If you want to see pre-built decks. And they even recommend outside interest. So if you want to get this and get right into it, you get a pre-built deck, or you can just follow these instructions and build the deck pretty quickly, or there's like kind of like an intro to play through that'll help build your deck. So it's not too daunting is what I'm trying to say. And it's kind of like modular, sort of, but not as like modular as like Marvel Champions or like Star Wars LCG or any of those that are like, you know, just grab this and jam it in. I do like those actually, because it's less time deck building, more time playing. But if you want to read the full cards, they're in the rule book. And I'm assuming in the PDF online, you can probably find this. But if you just want to see the amount of cards you can choose from and what you could put in a deck, you can kind of see what you're doing here. And yeah, it's tons of cards. So you could, the cool part, you can lay back on the couch and kind of read this and kind of theory craft a deck without having to get out all your cards, which I think is cool. Obviously, an expansion adding more cards ruins that whole thing. But again, getting into the game wasn't too daunting, and building decks wasn't too daunting. Obviously, I built my deck from online and everything, but understanding how it works and everything is not too crazy, which I like. But you can get nutty. You can make crazy combos and things, and find new, you know, meta builds and all that kind of stuff, like any kind of collectible card game has. Yeah. And then path cards are kind of like the you know, the game you're playing against. And there's 37 locations, individual locations, like named locations you can visit, which is crazy. 17 mission cards, but they're dual-sided. There's missions on the front and back of on all of them, I think. So don't think there's only 17 missions to do in the whole game. That is not true. Some of them are reusable, like they attach to different characters in different locations. So you might have the journey card you see there, which you'll get several missions that'll be like journey to this location, journey to that location. And that's like a mission, a side mission or whatever. There's the map. Okay, what's the all-in? All right, what are you guys offering here? Let me scroll back here. What just happened? The all in. They give you the Ranger card doubler. Moments on the path. Stewards of the Valley. Legacy of Ancestors. I don't know what all these are. I thought there was an expansion on the first campaign that I didn't back because I wasn't sure if I'd like it. So this is Legacy of the Ancestors campaign expansion. Okay. 112 reward cards. Okay, reward cards. So this is another thing. There are a ton of reward cards in the core set. Okay. And they're like player cards that you will get as rewards from doing missions and things and helping people and stuff. And you're able to add them to decks. They do have requirements on them, so you might not be able to use them depending on your stats and stuff. But there are ways that we've seen in the game that allow you to kind of retweak your deck throughout the campaign and trade starter cards back and get new starter cards and stuff. Kind of like any video game like Skyrim or Zelda, you find this thing in the game and you can kind of like take points out of a stat or Dark Souls or whatever and spend it in another stat. Like they let you respec your character, because when you're first starting the game, you're not sure, like maybe I'll be good at fighting and talking to people, and then later you're like, why did I waste all those points in talking to people? I just want to kill everything. So take it out of that and add it to defense and fighting and whatever, you know, that kind of thing. They do have that in the game. We've seen some of that. But these reward cards are really cool. And this is what I think part of the replayability is. You could play through and you won't see all those reward cards. And there are certain reward cards that'll be amazing for your deck and some that maybe won't. And maybe will be good for someone at your table. And maybe they're not. And that's the cool part. You play through again, you might find different cards that do different things. And it's kind of like your deck evolves and changes, but you don't have to take them, which is cool. So you could just find loot and upgrades and you're like, oh, cool. But like, I don't really want to play with that this time. But next time you might build a deck and you're like, oh, I know where that super cool item is. Let's go get it because I want to put it in this deck ASAP. And that's kind of cool. It's just like a video game, right? The same idea where you're like, I'm going to go find the item that's for my build or whatever. So I can see that being a heavy driver of replayability is the missions and the reward cards, which is cool. Steamage says, are we being encouraged to back this? No, you're just watching a consumer like you who's not getting any money for this. I don't care if you back it, Steamage. I'm not encouraging anybody. I'm just telling you, people always ask, they come in my streams in the middle of playing and they're like, Rob, you're on episode 11. I don't want spoilers. Quick, tell me if I should buy it. And I'm like, go away. I can't. Like, why am I telling you to buy it? I don't know anything about you. I don't know what you like. I don't know who plays games with you. I don't know if you're 80 grand in debt and you shouldn't be buying anything. I have no idea. I don't know where you live. I don't know what languages you speak. I don't know what you like in your games. I have no clue. No one on the internet can tell you if you should buy something or not. So stop asking people whether you should buy it or not. Make your own decisions, make your own research. All I'm giving you is data points to add into your calculations where you should look at what's already on your shelf, what you've been playing, what you haven't been playing, what you like, what your game group likes. All I'm doing is dumping info because people seem to care and they want to know. And I've only played 10 days of the game, so I'm giving those thoughts outside of my playthrough series, so that way I don't derail it tonight while we're playing with an hour discussion about this campaign. So some of you weren't here at the beginning when I said this, but there you go. That's what it's all about. So don't look at me to tell you whether to buy this or not buy this. That's not what this is. This is here for you to know how I feel after the game, what's available here, and whether I'm deciding to back it or not. But don't do that based on me, please. And if I'm showing you something that you're like, oh, this is not for me, I love that. If I'm showing you something, you're like, oh, that is for me. I love that. As long as I help you in some way, I don't care really. So there you go. If you're new here and you don't know how I work, that's how I work. Okay, I'm not being paid to do this. I'm the publisher. I don't get any kickbacks. I don't care, man. I'm just here to help you guys out, let you know how I feel about the game. Okay, if you want to hear like all the positives about it and how you need to back it and this is the best game ever, FOMO, 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 just go find out whoever the publisher sent the game to or paid to make a preview. Then you'll get all the positivity and you'll be told it's the most amazing thing. And you'll feel great about spending your money. And then in a year when you get your copy and then maybe it's not for you, you'll kind of be like, wait, maybe I was scammed and you know, I shouldn't listen to somebody telling me what I should do who has a financial gain from it, you know? But it's shameless plug. Like also, I like the game. I'm playing through it on the channel. Go watch my playthroughs. Like that's how I benefit, I guess. from talking about it. I don't know. So maybe, like, but I don't care if you buy it or not, because there's people who are watching us play it who will never buy it and they're having a good time. So I don't know. Like, I don't care really. There you go, C Mitch. Hopefully that helps you. Yeah. Again, this is like the 4th cooperative LCG is the best way to explain it. So if you've already played or liked or hated Lord of the Rings, the living card game, Arkham Horror, the living card game, or Marvel Champions, the card game from Fantasy Flight Games, this game is made by a bunch of former employees who used to work on those games, who started their own company, who are pumping this out as a 4th LCG, but can't call it an LCG because that's a coin termed by, you know, a studio under Asmodee called Fantasy Flight Games. But those games were widely popular. They're still being sold. They're still being reprinted. Some of them are getting no new content. Some of them are getting content all the time. People love those freaking games. So this guy left Fantasy Flight Games, worked for Chip Theory Games, then started his own company and wanted to make his own living card game without calling it a living card game. And this is what you have here. So he has other game designers and artists and stuff from Fantasy Flight Games working under him that left that company. And like the Sadler brothers worked on this game originally to come up with the main concept of it and stuff. And those guys are behind a lot of the card games and board games we've played from Fantasy Flight Games and other publishers. Yeah, but they also worked for Blacklist Games, and that company's been blacklisted. And yeah, so you take that for whatever you will. So maybe their name doesn't hold as much weight as it used to, but I'm always interested in something the Sadler brothers worked on. Which some of you are and some of you aren't. So there you go. Hopefully that's information to help you out too. But yeah, I'm not here to tell you it's for you. And like, please, you watch all you want, but like, if you tell me, Rob, this game doesn't look like it's for me, I don't care. That's great. I'm glad. But I'm not here to tell you you should buy this, and I don't care if you do, okay? I think a lot of people get in this like thing where they think like, oh, the content creator must, like, they're creating content, they like this, and I'm going to debate it with them, why it's good and why it's not. Like, I don't really care. It's just where I'm at. It's like, honestly, like, we're just going over a crowdfunding campaign. I don't do these very often for this reason, because I don't want you to feel like I'm here to try to sell you something or promote something. It's like, I'm just excited. I'm looking at it. So yeah, you don't have to back it. It's all good. I don't lose sleep if you do or you don't. Okay. Stewards of the Valley Ranger card expansion. 200 new cards. Okay, so more Ranger cards. How do I know? Okay, this is what I hate about crowdfunding campaigns. And this is the way the industry works and how our minds work, is we tie the dollar to the quantity of components in a box. Not how fun it is, you know, like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, it's like you buy an album that has 7 awesome songs on it versus an album that has 16 mediocre songs and maybe 1 awesome song. And they're both the same price, but people will say the one with 7 songs is not as good a value and stuff. It's like, it's kind of silly. So you can tell marketing is targeted on crowdfunding, and it bothers the hell out of me. Is, okay, this is a campaign expansion. That's great. All it tells me about it, right? The first thing they want to tell you is, here is the components in the box, and that will make you feel better about buying it. Oh, wow, look, it has high numbers of cards. Amazing. But what does it do? What is this? I know it's a campaign expansion, but like, what does that mean? Is it going to add hours of play? Is it going to add weeks to play? Is it its own separate campaign? Is it extending the current campaign? Where's the info? Tell me right up here in this big blank space. I want to know more about, like, what is the experience I'm getting out of it, not the throwaway components or the line items on the invoice, you know? But that's how people's minds work. They're like, they'll complain if it feels too expensive. They don't care how many pieces of amazing art are in this book. They just want to know how many pages are in the book or how many books are in the box. Like, so weird, so weird. But yeah. So it's just funny, like, it's like miniature games. They always just put big pictures of the spread of the game in the miniatures, but you like don't even know what the game is till you scroll for 15 minutes and your mouse wheel breaks. It's so weird, but that's what sells games on crowdfunding. That's the audience. That's what they think of you, is like, this is all you care about. Here's what you get, and the rest will bury down below in the fine print. Okay, we got some information here. So this card doubler thing, or Ranger card expansion, sorry, adds a new specialty with new role. I like that. So basically it's grabbing another piece of the color pie from, you know, card games. So this specialty will focus on different mechanics and have a different feel, I'm assuming. But then you can combo it with all the different backgrounds. So it's like now you've just exponentially increased your options for deck building. And it might be another excuse. So somebody who's played the crap out of the core set, has already done runs with all the characters and tried different deck builds and mixes, now throws this in. It's like a new faction is being added to a card game, if you think about it that way. So that's kind of neat. I like it. I like it. I'm looking forward to playing around with that. So it's like an excuse to maybe play through the whole campaign again if you like played it a whole bunch, right? Just to try out a new specialty. The deck builders are gonna love this stuff. New background, a new background. Again, what I just said, kind of the same idea. Mix and matches and just adds more combinations. Oh, C Mitch, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for the clarification. This is a fun game to watch, and I would rather spend my money to back real and genuine content creation. C Mitch, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't encourage you to back anything. I'll encourage you to watch stuff on my channel, of course. There it is. There it is. There's the alert. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Then the headline right next to you is misleading. Oh, what was the headline next to you, Rob? Oh, what did I have like a comment up there? Oh, maybe it was that. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways. Spirit speak. Oh, did I say speaker? Wait, spirit speaker. Yeah, in green. Oh, okay. Tail spinner. New options for core game sets. So they're actually adding. So if I were to get this expansion right now, I could add more options into each of the existing backgrounds and specialties. So if I found an option, like I said, in the campaign to go tweak cards in my deck, normally your deck's kind of locked until you get rewards you can mix in as you play through the campaign. But like I said before, you will meet people and things along the way that will give you options to actually take cards out of your deck when you built it originally. Maybe you didn't know what you're doing and something didn't really work out. And you're realizing, I should have grabbed that card. Well, when that happens, if I threw these all into my collection, I'd be able to swap out cards in the middle of the campaign for some of these new cards. I don't see anything that would stop you from doing that, assuming you reached one of those things that'll let you switch it out, which we've seen in many options. And again, you can go back to those things and do that if you want. They take effort and time to do them in the game, but it's kind of cool they exist. But I'm hoping that we're done the campaign, and then I get this expansion stuff show up, I jam it all in, we build some decks with the new backgrounds and specialties, and even use some of the new starter cards that they add in, play with some new roll cards. It looks like they're adding new roll cards too. They already have 2 for each specialty. So it looks like they're adding an extra. And yeah. And then we play it with a new feel, new cards, see new stuff. And maybe play through the new campaign expansion, which I want to know more about that campaign expansion. Like, is it its own little campaign, or does it just beef up the existing campaign? That I don't know. And then they have a core game doubler so that you can have duplicates of cards. So obviously I think you would need to buy 2 of the player card expansion if you already had the doubler and you wanted like enough cards so that every player could use cards. Like, you know, and not have to fight over cards, basically. What's this? Moments on the Path. Path deck expansion. 30 cards. What are these? What is this? I don't know what these cards are. Moments impacts? Draw a challenge card and resolve the corresponding effect. I don't know what a moment is. Oh yeah, I know what moments are, right? Wait, what? So these come off the Path deck? Okay, I gotta read more about this. I probably look really stupid. You guys are like, Rob, it's obviously this. And I'm like, but these cards don't look like anything I've seen before. Information for returning backers. Hey, that's me. If you back the original Earthborne Rangers Kickstarter campaign, or if you purchase Earthborne Rangers at retail, here are a few things that may be helpful for you to know about our GameFound campaign. 1, see, look how long I had to scroll to get to this. You do not need to choose a reward level in order to back this campaign. You can back by purchasing add-ons instead, allowing you to shop a la carte. 2, there are 2 pledge levels tailored for owners of the first printing. Returning backer pledge. If you back the original Kickstarter at the all-in level, no, this pledge is for you. It includes 2 new expansions, Stewards of the Valley and Moments on the Path, as well as the card errata pack. Oh, errata cards, yes. Yes, yes, yes. My erratas suck. I just printed them and they're like too small, and yeah. I definitely would like the errata pack. I like that. Expansion only pledge. If you purchase Earthborne Rangers at retail, or if you back the core set during the original campaign, this pledge is for you. That's me. That's me. Okay. It includes the following expansions. And again, please understand, like being a smart consumer, I just went in and bought only the core set to try it out to see if I liked it. I like it. Okay. If the game's that great, you will always get another chance to get the extra stuff, right? And will you even make it through a core set? So my always recommendation with anything, if you care to know, is if you want to try something, there is a nice entry product, which is the core set. Like most good expandable games, that you can buy that, try it out. If you don't like it, pack it back up and probably sell it to anybody or give it away to somebody, or find another player that might like it, you know, and give it to them, whatever. Stop giving into the FOMO. Don't feel like because it's here now, oh my God, it'll never be here again, I need to buy everything because I heard it's good. If you realistically don't ever get to the expansions in your games, think that way, right? Look at your past experiences, apply it going forward. So I, on the first campaign, was like, I don't know, I'll just back the core set, try it out. Having a great time. I don't feel like I missed out on any of the all-in fluff, right? And here it is. Wow, I have a second chance to get stuff. Cool. There's going to be another crowdfunding campaign, right? There'll be one next year this time probably, or a new expansion or a new board game from this company, and you'll be able to get their old products. And like, if it's successful and people like it, there'll be another chance to grab it. Okay, don't feel like you have to get all of it to try it. Don't look at the all-in pledges and be like, oh, it's all or nothing. I don't know if I'll like this game. I can't buy it at that. Just get the core set if you want to try it out, or wait for the core set to show up at retail at your local game store. Support them, maybe save some money. Who knows? Yeah. That's kind of what I always recommend blanket, and that's the way I approach things now. But again, just, you know, do whatever, you know, feels right to you kind of thing. That's how I look at it. But everyone has different means, right? And different tastes and different needs and stuff. So, but yeah. So this one includes the following expansions: Legacy of Ancestors, Stewards of the Valley, and Moments on the Path. Also includes the errata pack. So this, I'll just probably back this, I think, based on how things are going. Because I assume this is going to take a longer to deliver than they're saying, and I don't know what they're saying. But by the time I get it, I should be done the current campaign. But again, I don't know. It's like, should I stop and wait for this stuff? So I have the errata pack, I have more card options, I have the campaign expansion, but I don't know what it actually adds yet. So we'll see. And I like the way right up front, this I like a lot. Okay. I like a lot that number one, they're like, hey, you don't have to back everything. If you just want one little thing, you can do that. They're not hiding that. I like that. It's not throwing it. I know they did throw it in the face. Like, here's what's in the core set. Here's what's in the all in, you know, big giant pictures. But I do like the way they're like, hey, we're not here to trick you into buying everything so that it inflates our numbers and, you know, we look like we sold more copies than we did. Yeah, if you just want to buy like a small little expansion, you can do that. A la carte. You don't need to order everything. I appreciate that. Good job. If you ordered Legacy of the Ancestors in the first campaign, you don't need to order it again. Yeah, they did have an expansion in the first one. I didn't want to buy an expansion for a game I never played because I didn't know if I would like it. So now I have a chance to order it, and I probably will. You'll receive it when the GameFound campaign fulfills, and you will not be charged additional shipping. Oh, so nobody's got that expansion yet. Oh, I see what they're doing. So the reason why they're doing this right now is because they need to reprint the core set, and they probably would rather get an interest-free loan, you know, take your money now so they don't have to stress instead of putting their own money up front. and basically take pre-orders for that reprint. But they sounds like they weren't done the expansion for the first campaign, and nobody has it yet. But instead of just printing that small run, they're here to kind of get more orders so they can save money and bring the cost down on the print run for the expansion, which makes sense to me. But I didn't realize, yeah, that sucks. People are still waiting for that expansion. So I'll get the expansion the same time everyone who backed it like a year ago or whatever, or 2 years ago, whenever that was. That sucks. That sucks for people who went in early on it, that they're still waiting and they could have just waited till now and it wouldn't have mattered. Interesting. Angie, what up? Let's see here. So it's easier to read what expansions include and are about when clicking on them in the add-ons. Oh, okay. I'll get there, Successful Geek. I always approach these crowdfunding things like the way they're presented and kind of scroll through them how I would. I know I'm slow and I'm side ranting and all that stuff. I know. Again, I put the link in the live chat, so if you want to just go quickly scroll and leave and get all the information, you don't have to sit here through my slow crawl through this for sure. And you know, you can come back later and comment and stuff in the comments. Okay, if you order the Legacy of the Ancestors, the first campaign, and go on to order something new from the Game Final campaign, you will be charged shipping for the new items. They will ship alongside your original Legacy of Ancestors pledge. Okay. So you paid for shipping already in the last one. You won't get double charged for shipping on that, but you will get charged for shipping for anything extra you order. That makes sense. But it all comes together, which might suck. I don't know how they... Yeah, you're kind of going to get double charged for shipping, right? Like, I would assume. But who knows? Maybe they figured it out. But like, if it was like a little upcharge on shipping on the last one, to add that second wave, but now you're paying additional shipping on other stuff, like you probably would have got a discount if you just ordered it all together on shipping. I don't know, but it sounds like that's what's happening. Okay. Yeah, look at this. All you need to enjoy Earthborne Rangers. The most popular first one presented to me. I'm gonna refresh actually. I want to see more accurate numbers right now. It's been live for almost an hour, like 50 minutes. I do like, yes, Successful Geek. I do love the way on the left side there actually is a way to jump around in this game. Found is a way better experience than Kickstarter. It just sucks that they followed Kickstarter very closely and kind of tweaked it. I wish they just went from the ground up and made it like their own thing, so it still wasn't a scroll fest to get to everything. But I do like the way they actually, the chapters are used and they work and stuff. I do appreciate that. But yeah, you still have to scroll and scroll and scroll if you want to see everything, which is kind of annoying. I don't know how you do that better. And also has to be friendly for mobile and stuff too, so maybe it makes sense. But yeah, feels like I'm on just like a tweaked Kickstarter. And I forget sometimes you can jump around like that. But I'm also looking at it zoomed in, so I might not be seeing that stuff too well. But we'll get there, we'll get there. So we already know about the core set. Again, you can watch our first episode of our playthrough, first 2 episodes. We talk about all this stuff, we show how it works, we play through it, give our thoughts, all that stuff's there. So I'm not gonna go really into the core set because I already have that and I don't care. Returning backer pledge is only $50 US. Plus shipping, so it'll be like 80 US probably for me in Canada. So it'll be like 100 and something total. Yeah, maybe that is pretty expensive for what it is. I don't know. Expansions only pledge. Oh wait, hold on. No, this is the, you've already backed stuff from the first one. Never mind. This is not for me. This one's for me. So it's $100. $100 US plus shipping. Choose this pledge if you already own the core game. So this is what I'd probably back. Like, I need to know more. I want to know more about this expansion still, and I'll get to it. I know I'm saying it out loud and you're like, Rob, just click the button. But I'm just seeing what they're presenting first. Then we'll go in depth on each thing. So there's the gameplay all in, and that's it. Okay, hold on. There's add-ons. Okay. Oh no, I see. This is just here. Give us money. Okay, no. All right. Legacy of Ancestors. Okay, let's read. An all-new narrative campaign that follows the events of the core game story. Okay, so that I wish. How could they not fit that sentence in that marketing image right at the freaking top of the page? Why'd I have to dig? That could have easily fit on there. And then I would be like, oh, okay, so I should finish my current campaign, and this is a whole separate campaign? Oh, thank you. It doesn't just beef up my current campaign? Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Jeez Louise. Okay, so now I know I can keep playing my current campaign, and I'll just play this later. Okay, that's what I like to hear. It does suck for people who like just got it or haven't got it at the table yet, who maybe don't know if they need it, but I'm sure this will be open for a while, and then they'll have late pledges and stuff, so you can play a bit. But it sucks when it comes so close after it's like been delivered, right? But I know the company needs to work on their stuff and fund their employees and that, so they need money now before they print stuff. Stewards of the Valley. New sets of Ranger cards to offer even more options. This I already understand from those images. This made sense to me. So this is cool. I like this one. This is cool. So it's like, it's exactly like Arkham expansions and stuff, right? Or Lord of the Rings LCG. It's like campaign box, player cards, like, you know, hero expansion, campaign expansion. Like that's kind of the way they're doing it. It's like, yeah, why reinvent the wheel? I guess you see what works over at Fantasy Flight, might as well do the same thing. What is this? A set of cards designed to enhance the path deck. But how? Because they're like, it's like a moment set is what my problem is. Oh, here we go. Oh my God. I didn't scroll down. I'm a dummy. Okay. Product description. Moments on the Path adds new cards to the path deck in the form of ephemeral moments, narrative choices, and attachments. The cards in this expansion capture fleeting moments in time, like catching the scent of flowers on the breeze. I just realized something. There we go. I'm like looking the wrong way. It's bothering me. I like look this way, but it's like looking the wrong way on the screen in front of me. It's annoying me. Sorry, guys. The cards in this expansion capture fleeting moments in time. Moments like catching the scent of flowers on the breeze, hearing a tree fall somewhere in the distance, or encountering a predator with unique characteristics, adding texture to the emergent narrative. Okay. I like it. I like it. I'm in. It's just a little pack of cards. I'm in. I'm in. Yeah, spice up the deck. So like I keep seeing the same flora and fauna and obstacles and stuff popping up, all features popping up all the time. This will spice that up, I guess. Okay, hold on. I want to go back to this one and read down here. So this is the campaign expansion. Continue your Rangers' adventures as you journey beneath the surface of the valley to uncover the secrets of the ancient Estian archaeology. Explore new locations and path sets as you delve into the archaeology's subterranean caverns and corridors. This expansion includes new story missions, side activities, reward cards, as well as a new map and dedicated campaign guide. Excuse me. Awesome. Awesome. I'm sure it's a shorter campaign. Maybe not. It feels like it would be a shorter one because it doesn't look like as many locations. It's like more zoomed in. It's like more zoomed in, right? So like this is like big overworld map. Oh no, wait, what is this? This is like a zoomed in overworld. And then you got this zoomed in underground cave system or something. Or whatever that is. I don't know. Oh man. I want to explore that. So it's got an underground set, terrain sets, location cards, reward cards. A bevy of new Ranger cards to unlock for mid-game campaign deck customization. 4 copies of each reward card, so no Ranger at the table need go without. So basically, if you're playing 4-player and you unlock a reward card, normally they only have 2 of every copy in the current core set. I think that's what the Ranger card doubler's for. So Mel and I are playing only 2-player. So we find a reward. I can give 1 to Mel. I can take 1 if I want, or put 2 in my deck, or put 2 in her deck. But if we were playing with 3 or 4 players, and we wanted to split it up, it's like, somebody gets nothing unless you bought the doubler. So this is kind of cool right from the get-go. You have enough so like everyone can have one if they want, right? I like that. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, and then this is the card doubler. I actually saw this at my retailer and I debated it, but like there's enough cards in there that Mel and I haven't needed to fight each other for cards. There are some cards I would like to play with that she's using, and I'm sure some that I'm using that she could use, but it's still, maybe have 4 players that feel more strict. But if an expansion is adding more player card choices in and stuff, I don't know if I need a doubler, but I understand some people want their own set of cards. Like if you're the type of player who like goes weekly and plays Arkham LCG with friends at a game store or their house or whatever, and you build your own deck at home from your whole collection and you're not mixing with their collection because you want to have everything specific to you, then maybe you need this doubler, right? So that everyone can build from the same pool of cards and no one has to fight over anything is the idea, I think. That's kind of cool that they offer that. But for me, I only play max 2 players really in this game. I mean, it could change to 3, I think maybe, but I don't know. Deluxe wooden tokens. No, I have enough colored dice. I don't need these, but that's cool that they like have the look that matches the game. Deluxe Ranger tokens. Oh, okay, you can get little wooden meeples. Okay, that's a cool upsell component, I guess, but definitely not needed. 8 wooden screen printed Ranger tokens. They upgrade the punch board Ranger tokens that come in the core game. Yeah, it's just like an upsell item, right? Like, yeah, no, I'm good. Valley Trail map, $5. Enhance your Earthborne Rangers experience with this fold-out map of the valley. So this must be a higher quality one than the paper one that comes in there. Oh, what the hell? Look at this. The one I have is like blank on the back. The one that comes in the game. But this one's like you know, the pamphlets you get when you're like traveling and stuff. Presented as an actual trail map. One side gives a beautiful rendering of the valley, paths, and locations to use in the for use in the campaign, while the other has suggested in-game routes and accompanying intel about the world you'll discover. A truly worthy purchase for anyone looking to enjoy their stay. Okay, that's kind of neat, actually. This is like buying like the Nintendo Power Guide or like a Nintendo Power article tied to like a Nintendo game, right? Like you get the rule book and there's not much in it, but then like you get the Nintendo Power and it's like this whole spread that would like give you more depth into the game and stuff. I like that kind of stuff. I like that kind of, I'm a nerd for that stuff. It's a brochure. Yeah, that's cool though, to make it like you're like a forest ranger, right? Basically in the game. So it's kind of cool that it's like there's like a, you know, a hiking map kind of is neat. So I'm just gonna take a sec here to close the poll we had going. Now that a bunch of you had voted. Thank you everyone that voted on it. Also, thank you to all 25 of you who clicked the like button. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So let's see. So I asked in the chat, there's a live poll that's asked, are you buying anything in this campaign? And my silly kind of options are no, only expansions, buying all of it, or just the core set. 57% of you watching said no, you're not buying anything. 23 of you are only buying expansions, so I'm assuming you already own the core set, you played some of it, hopefully. 14% of you said I'm buying all of it, so you're buying more than just core set and expansions, you're buying like that and maybe more. And then just the core set is 5%. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool. Good to know. Good to know. I was just curious. All right. Yeah, that's cool. $5. I don't know. Am I a sucker? Does that seem cool for $5 US? So like $68 Canadian? I mean, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. The World of Earthborne Rangers. So this, I don't know what, I don't usually buy these like extra books. Oh, it's an art and lore book. Okay, so this is like, you really want to step it up? Oh, damn. That's kind of cool though, actually. Oh my. Like, I don't know if this is just the same lore that's like in the campaign, like the Living Valley book, you know, when you read an entry, when you arrive at a place. I don't know if that's all this is or if this is more. Maybe it's more. Within, you'll find a wealth of information about Earthborne's setting, including detailed descriptions of the flora and fauna you'll encounter. Okay, that's more. While playing the game, details of life in the valley and a history of the Rangers organization and much more. Yeah, I'm a sucker for these hardbound books though. Like with video games and things, I like that stuff. $30 though, that's kind of rough, but I don't know. I don't know. What's a hardcover book go for nowadays? Probably a lot. I don't know. And this is probably like sustainably produced too, right? I don't know. So it's going to be a higher price for like that premium kind of like not made the cheap way in the cheap places. Ranger minis, don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. I don't want minis in my card game. Shared areas. Oh, what is this? Yeah, see, this is the thing. I probably pass on the book because I'd rather spend that money on playmats that actually are like kind of like, it's not just a playmat with art on it. It's like actually has the places to put things and keeps things organized, which for me playing on live streams and stuff, I like organization. It's easier for you guys to follow along and see where things are, give some uniformity to things. You know, visually can compartmentalize things. I like that. I like that kind of organization. I should have backed the first ones. I realized after I started playing it that I wish I kind of had the mats. Yeah, probably do this. So this is the shared area for when you're playing in the underground, which this still works for playing not in the underground. It's the same. It's just different art on the back. Yeah, you got weather, location, and missions, and your spots for your decks and discards, and then the along the way. Yeah, so it's your choice just which art you like, right? You could get the mountain one, the underground one. Whatever art you like. I would probably get this. This looks way better. In my opinion. I like the color popping. But again, the other having muted colors behind the cards is also nice too, so the cards pop more. Oh man. Okay, that's kind of cool. Both are cool. And then there's a Ranger playmat. Yeah, so I'd get a couple of these. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll talk to Mel. We'll see what we think. Like playing without the mats is fine. Like we've been doing it. It's totally fine. No issues whatsoever. Oh, they have a different one. They have a cave Ranger playmat and a ravine. Oh, okay. I like this one. I like the nature vibe. I play enough dark dungeon crawling stuff, right? This cave stuff. It's like, I like it, but it's like I see that kind of stuff all the time. I kind of like the nature stuff. And then we have a card errata pack. Okay, I must have that. But then the problem is you're gonna have errata in the new stuff. That then we need another errata pack later, and it's like, oh, okay, now I'm just chasing errata packs. Like, take your time, guys. Double check everything, okay? Triple check it if you could before you hit the print button, okay? I won't be mad if you delay it because you found a typo. Don't be afraid to let the public see it too so they can find all your typos. Fresh set of eyes is all you need sometimes. And then you have a retailer pledge. Core game add-on. So you just want to add another core game. You want to shop for Christmas time in advance. And then here's a bunch of people who are praising it who probably maybe only played it one time. Yeah. Okay, so this guy probably played it what? Played 2 scenarios, top game of 2023. Okay. I'm just joking. Maybe he played it a ton. I don't know. The R&R show. Okay, whatever. One stop co-op shop. Man versus Meeple. Totally tabled. That's crazy. These guys played it all already that they're like putting in their top games. I'm just slow, I guess. I'm slow. Or they got it way before me because I'm in Canada, maybe. But like, I always get worried with campaign games that like just come out and then people are posting reviews and they've like played only 2 scenarios of it. Because that's the problem, right? Then it's like, you and me, we're buying it because we want to play a whole bunch of it and get value out of it, right? and you're getting someone's opinion after playing like 2 sessions. I don't know, that's scary, man. That's scary. But I could be wrong. Maybe all these people played the whole campaign really fast. Maybe they did. Who knows? I'm sure they say it in their video how much they played. Earthborne Rangers customizable. Yep. Okay, so here's all the information like that was on the last thing. So if you want to know how like the game works, it's all here. Learn to play. Yeah, okay, here's the rule book. Solo, you can go look that up like I said. The Living Valley is where you can find like pre-built decks, rules glossary, standalone scenarios you can play. So if you want to just, if you get your core set, like we did, and you want to learn how to play, there's like a couple standalone scenarios that aren't included in the box that you can play with online, which is neat. I can probably show you that actually. So here's the Living Valley. Campaign guide, 1-day missions, errata, and FAQ are all here. So there's like 1-day missions. So like you can play these before you actually dive into a campaign to get a feel for how the game works. Which I did stream one of these. You can find it in the playlist down below. If you want to look for, I think I played Missing Person, right? Yeah, Missing Person. If you want to see how that works without story spoilers from the campaign, you can watch that too. That's another way to see. And I played that solo, so you can see how the solo works. Oh, you can play a demo on Tabletop Simulator. Available languages. Oh, here's shipping. Canada, 19 bucks, 26 bucks. Okay, that's pretty standard stuff. Pretty standard stuff. And all the shipping, okay. All right. So, if I zoom out, now we see the table on the left. Did we miss anything that we should look at? I don't think so. Join our community. Our mission of sustainability. Yeah, it's like printed in Germany using papers sourced from FSC certified German forest. Basically, supposedly it's all like compostable is what I think. Yeah. Each copy is recyclable and compostable. No single-use plastics of any kind or plastics at all in the game. But again, it leads to like a lot of people want to sleeve it. So just, yeah, keep that in mind. I see a lot of people online complaining about the card quality, but I don't think they realize like they're trying to, every card you buy that you like has plastic coating and weaved into the paper and stuff to give it like that protective, kind of thicker, durable feel, right? That's just the way cards are made nowadays. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see what you guys are saying. If you get the lore book, are you going to read it to us? Heather, I don't know if anyone, I want to put anyone through that torture, but maybe. It would be cooler to read than some of, like, I like the little intros when you arrive, but when an animal shows up, you can kind of read their mechanics to understand, like, kind of how they work and their traits. But it'd be kind of cool to read actually a little more, like, what are these creatures and what is their background and, like, why are they in this region and stuff. That's kind of neat, right? That they put the effort in for that. So yeah, I don't know. It's neat. The world is cool. I like the discoverability of it. I like the timeline. I like the kind of story setting. It's like, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like the kind of pulled me in at the beginning and had me interested in the theme. When I first looked at the first crowdfunding campaign, I don't know if that's, probably, yeah, game overview probably, right? No. Let's see. No. All here. Let's. No, I know where we can get it. In here probably, right? Loading. Heather wants me to give a quick overview of this game versus Legends of Galzir. Sure, no problem. Give me 1 second. I read this on stream, but it's kind of cool. Where is it? Man, this PDF is scrolling slow. Yeah, I read some of this on stream. But basically, the quick pitch is this takes place like millenniums in the future. Basically, right now, in this world, our current time, basically, we kind of like polluted, destroyed the earth. Like things are like everyone's about making money and not really about like making sure the planet's there for centuries to come, right? And in this world, basically the powers of the world kind of realized this was happening and came together to actually work together to try to create projects and solutions to kind of fix the earth and you know, fix all the disasters, everything we did to it to damage it. And some of those projects were actually multi-generational projects, so they went on for hundreds and hundreds of years to kind of come up with ways to clean up all the trash, the pollution, the garbage, and restore the earth. And we basically are like a couple of thousand years in the future, I think it is. And we're in a world where some of that stuff went wrong, and like some of it's left over and some of it's so far in the past. And we're discovering this world and we're watching over this valley where like there's weird creatures and machines and devices, and like it's like some of it's like left over from those old projects and things. Like we're learning about like what the world is now and how it happened and how it affected the like environment and things. It's very neat. Like it's like, yeah, it's a very cool like setup. It's like I love the story of like, I'm always fascinated in like the time stuff from like Terminator as a kid, and like it drew me in, the whole idea of like what happened in the future and how technology like kind of went against humanity, and like then there's time machines that are sending people back to change it, and like that's kind of like the vibe I get, and I find that stuff fascinating. So if you don't, like, it's not as cool maybe, but for me it's kind of cool for them to like, we know who we are and where we are. We're just kind of out of ranger school, you know, there's this technology, and like, why is the world like this? What are those animals? Why are these places built this way? And like, what is the history? So we're like discovering that as we kind of play and stuff, which is neat. Like, what did happen back in our current time, and how is this future affected and changed by it? And I find that very neat. I find that very neat. So I can't really find what I was talking about, but if that makes sense. If that makes sense. So George says a good hardcover with that quality of art would be 60 plus US. Oh, okay, okay. Maybe closer to 75. Okay, so it's pretty good. Even with only 96 pages? I don't know, like, I haven't bought books like that in a while. Yeah. Can't remember. It's been a long time, so like, yeah, I can't judge. Like, I know paper costs and manufacturing, everything has gone up like crazy. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, George. Okay. This is from a librarian and tabletop RPG player who researches a lot of books. All right, I trust George. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. Okay. Okay, yeah. Heather says it's priced comparable to hardcover and RPG books. Yeah, Eli, that's what I was thinking. It looks more worthwhile for immersion. Yeah, like the trail map, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, like the playmat, the common area playmat, like I see what you're saying. So Eli says, kind of like we do, right? Like I keep everything like kind of on these little trays up here, and I keep my decks in these holders and stuff. And this is kind of how we play all our LCGs. And then we just have our player areas here, and I separate it with so you guys like can see, I separate it with like tokens in the middle, right? So like you can tell my play area versus Mel's play area, and then like our common areas here. So like I really don't need those play mats, because like we play like all our LCGs this way and it just works. But I like, maybe we just get the player mats, right? And then we still use this. I don't know. I'll think about it. But if you watch the channel, you have any comments below, like how you'd like to see it played in the future, and like you'd prefer watching it played on those mats and things, leave in the comments. Like, you guys are the viewers, right? Like, I'm presenting it to you. Like, it's not all about just how I like to play it. I want to make sure you guys can follow along, play along, and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate the feedback for sure. Okay, Wizards of the Coast just put out a campaign setting that had 3 96-page books for over $100. So 30 for one book is great. Okay, all right, you got me. All right, you got me. Do I know the dimensions of the playmats? Let's find out. I bet they're just like standard playmat size. Like, yeah, oh, here we go. 13.5 inches by 23.5. So roughly like a foot by 2 feet is kind of how I look at it, right? Which I think is like, I don't have a playmat here and I don't have a measuring tape to see, but I feel like that's pretty close to standard like card game tournament player, single player playmat size. I would have to probably zoom out more with it side by side. I probably would. You're right. I probably would. Yep. Yeah, we probably would have to zoom out more. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. So like 2 feet. Yeah, I think we would probably. Yeah, yeah. So maybe that's bad. That's probably bad then. Yeah, zooming out sucks. Zooming too far from the table sucks for viewer experience for sure. At least I know from being a viewer, watching playthroughs and stuff for sure. Okay, cool. Cool. Canadians don't know inches and feet. LOL. Yeah, we do. We're taught metric and we know of imperial growing up, and like since we get a lot of stuff imported from the US, like yeah, and we watch a lot of television that's produced in North America and stuff, so it's like yeah, inches and feet are like very common, but yeah, metric system all the way. So yeah, 12 inches in a foot, right? So 13.5 by 23.4. Okay, all right. Okay, Robert, all right. Just mess with me. Okay, I was like, did I get it wrong? Like, did I mess that up? I could have. I don't know. I only know actually how big it is in beaver tails. That's how we measure everything in Canada. Beaver tails, so like today it's snowing pretty hard here. It's gonna be about a beaver tail and a half high when the snow is done. So that's kind of how we normally measure things in Canada. Anyways. George says, I never found your current setup to be too cluttered or hard to follow. Thank you, George. I try to make it that way. Maybe we just do the common area. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to talk to Mel and we'll see what she thinks. But leave comments down below. I want to hear your thoughts. I do appreciate opinions. So Heather, again, wants to know a quick overview of this game versus Legend of Galzier. Okay. I haven't played Legend of Galzier in a while, but we did play a bunch of it. Okay. Legends of Galzier, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't have like main story, I don't think. Everything is open world, sandbox, do whatever you want, pursue whatever quests, and you're kind of being the best adventurer quester and just kind of like earning the respect of the people and being the best adventurer in a session. So it's like competitive, right? You can play it cooperatively. How it's similar though is it's a cute world, like kind of like it's like Animal People in Lands of Galzier, but it is kind of like the same kind of like, I don't know how to say it. They're both just exploring a world that doesn't, it's like not tied to reality, right? It's like kind of how it is, sort of. Both are limited time sessions. You'll sit down. They both have a timer built into the game where it'll end a session, and they both affect, like through the campaign guide in Earthborne Rangers and through the storage system, which is like 7th Continent in Lands of Galzier. The game and world based on each session is always changing, and you're exploring things and seeing things, and on the campaign guide in this, you're writing down specific things you've seen and learned. So when you find a new entry in the campaign guide later, that's like, did you meet that person? Do you know how to do this? Did you get that item? Did you see this? Did you complete that mission? Will change the world, and the world will evolve through a playthrough of a campaign. Lands of Galzier, based on what you're doing, cards will change in the location sets and stuff. So like you visit a city, you might do something in that city that affects that city and changes it going forward, and the map will ever evolve and change, which I think could happen in this game. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what kind of happens in that game. They're very different, but a lot are similar. They're both just sandbox exploration games where like you start off, you don't know the world. The more you play it, the more crazy creatures you meet, the people you meet, what's going on in the world. You discover the locations, you maybe affect the world and change the world. They kind of both do that. But one is more of a board game feel in Lands of Galzier, and this one is that LCG kind of card game feel. Because it is a card game versus like the board game, but like, I don't know. This one's a little hardcore, I would say. And Lands of Galzier is more on the lighter side, more approachable. Okay. This game, Earthborne Rangers, it has hardcore audience. It's like medium to heavy-ish weight gamer. If you want to get into deck building and min-maxing and all that stuff. But you can, again, pre-built deck this game, get into it pretty easy. It has more mechanics and systems, and I'm sure as expansions get added, more keywords and that kind of stuff. But Lands of Galzier is like way more chill, but it's like not chill in like a joke. Like the world is kind of serious and kind of some mature stuff kind of happens, and they're like, there's war and fighting and stuff. It's crazy, even though they're nice, cute looking animal people. Yeah, they're just doing things that would happen in a world with factions and families and houses and areas and property and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's interesting. They're both different experiences, but like, yes, you could buy either one and get lost in them for months, you know, of playing it every week or whatever. If you like them. They both have the skill check thing going on. I don't know, they are similar. I can see why you're like asking about comparing both of them. But yeah, I don't know. Both are solid games though. Both I played and like, they're both out doing what they're doing and they're doing them well. I don't know. It's hard to complain about either one. Yeah, so. But if you like LCGs, you like card games, you like building decks, and you need a little more mechanics, a little more meat on the bone, this would be it. Earthborne Rangers maybe would be the one I kind of go for if I was to try one first. But if you're like playing with like maybe lighter gamers, maybe like, I don't know, you could probably play with like, you know, tweens or something, or like kind of young, not younger kids. I'd probably play with like teenagers maybe in Lands of Galzier. You could do that here though too. They're like, they'll figure it out. But yeah, it's like, it looks more like Family Way. Like it's just more simple. Like Lands of Galzier is more straightforward, less rules, complex. Yeah, it's more about exploring the story. In this, there's like mechanics. You're trying to still win. You're trying to still play efficient. But there is more chill to this one than some of the other LCGs, if that makes sense. But Lands of Galzier can be like super chill if you want it, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. From a high level, I guess. I can't spoil anything in both of them, so like I'm trying not to be too specific either. Because both are about discovery. Both are gonna like, you're gonna see fun things, and they're gonna try to surprise you through like writing and choices and skill checks and stuff. And things are gonna happen and change in the world, and it's kind of fun. It's fun to like see it change and be different. Both games are trying to achieve that you will play through a second time and you'll experience new things and it'll be different every time you play. That's what they're both trying to do that. And I think they both kind of achieve that based on what I've seen in both games, kind of like change and options and choices, lots of choices. Kristen, I thought it was measured in moose tracks. That's the old measurement system. We phased that out. Yeah, that got phased out in like the 80s. It's now beaver tails. Get with the times, Kristen. Get with the times. Okay. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. Anything else? Yeah, Heather says, your videos got me interested in both. Thanks for the quick comparison. Rangers is probably more for me. Okay. at least you watch playthroughs. Like, you should get a sense. Like, I find playthroughs are like the best way to see the game, like how it's being experienced, versus then a review that might just quickly tell you like, here's the rules of the game and here's my thoughts, right? Like, it's like, you kind of should see it for yourself. And especially if you've been in the hobby for any amount of time, you'll kind of see similar mechanics and functions, and you'll see inspirations from other types of games. And you'll kind of know, like, is this for me or not for me, based on it being going through the flow, right? Yeah, I don't know. Everyone has their own experiences, their own backgrounds and stuff. Like, that's why I always talk a lot about how, like, here's the video games I play, here's the board games I like, and this is what I like about the game. So you can kind of understand, like, oh, I don't care about that stuff. So what Rob is saying, maybe it's not for me. Like, or, oh, I like that stuff too, but I need a little more in this department. And like, I'll tell you if I story I don't care about, or I really need more options, or I need these mechanics in a game to really get pulled in, or I hate deck building, but here's a way around it to still get into the gameplay and have a great time. Like, I don't know, but some people are like coming at this, they want mass amounts of cards for deck building, and it seems like that's what the expansions are trying to feed into, right? So I think, like, yeah, everyone has their own different tastes. So even if I tell you like, oh, this is the best game I've ever played, it's like, doesn't mean you should buy it, like, at all. You really need to decide for yourself. So that's why I like just doing playthroughs, like presenting more stuff. Like, the only reason I give thoughts on anything is because people keep asking. I really just want to get in it and just play the games, show it, not really say whether I'm loving it or not. You just can tell by how many episodes I'm kind of playing of something. And I like keeping like a natural flow to things on the channel. So like right now I'm engrossed in this game. We're playing it tonight. I'll probably play it again Thursday because Kyle's not here this week. I think Mel and I will just play more of it, maybe more of it this weekend. And we'll just keep going with the flow until we don't want to play it anymore. Or we end it, we finish it, or we decide we want to move on to something else. But right now I'm having a blast. It's the campaign game I'm hooked on right now, and I'm going to keep playing more of it. So that's all I got to really say. I don't know. Kind of sucks that you have to like decide in the next like month or two whether like you should buy this or not, but you have time. Please do not today go back this because like, oh my God, I don't want to miss it. Like, set a reminder on your phone a month from now or whenever the campaign ends, or they'll have late pledges. I saw them say online they'll have late pledges for sure. They'll have a late pledge window, which will probably be months and months and months. So yeah, go do your research. The rule book's online. There's a demo on TTS. There's playthroughs on the internet. There's reviews if you want to watch some quick overviews of the game. I'm sure there's write-ups on BGG in the review forums that you can read other people's experience with it, with like detailed write-ups and stuff. If you want to get real nitty-gritty, they're not worried about trying to make a quick YouTube 10-minute video to like blur out the game as fast as possible. You can watch us play through it down in the video description. Check out the playlist link there, and you can watch us play through. Watch the first couple episodes, but don't watch more than that if you don't want spoilers. Because definitely the first couple episodes are playing through just the first session. We play it slow, we teach it, we show everything, we explain everything. It's not really full of spoilery stuff, really. It's like kind of like a tutorial, if that makes sense. Yeah. Thank you all 36 of you who clicked the like button now. I see George's not impressed with the 55 viewers and only 36 likes. I see. And some of those viewers weren't even here earlier. Some people liked the video and left. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah. So if you want to see more of the game, check out the playlist down below. Like I said, we're playing it tonight. But don't tune in tonight if you haven't watched some of that other stuff, because we're right in the middle of a campaign. Spoilers, okay? Don't tune in tonight if you want to see. Don't come in there going, I want to know more and show me how the game works. No, go back. The video's already there. You can start doing research right now. This game has been out for a few months. People have got their hands on it. People have been playing it. Go check out the links that they've included on this on the crowdfunding page if you want to see some people's stuff. But yeah. George, yeah. I was actually talking with Kyle about that after last stream. We're trying to find a way to play Descent on the channel in the future, but no promises. We're trying to work on some solution. We're trying to figure it out, but no rush. I probably want to play other stuff in the meantime. But yeah, I do want to play Descent, Betrayers of War. It's just, yeah, maybe going back and starting over would be cool, but that's like a lot of stuff. And we've kind of already shown that game love on the channel more than a lot of others. And I could always just play something else too. So yeah. But yeah, we're trying to figure a way to get it on stream, make it streamable, which may not be the best quality, and the best experience for the viewers, but I got to try something different because it doesn't fit in our setup, is kind of the problem. So yeah. And I don't want to just like rush in and like try to force it if it doesn't feel right. But like, again, I do want to play it. Kyle was even asking like, did you guys end up playing without me? Like, you know, and I'm like, man, maybe I just play it weekly with Kyle, not on stream. Where Mel and I play a 3-player on a different table that's bigger with no cameras, no lighting, no glare worries, you know, no microphones all wired in. We just play it and enjoy it, not on stream. That is honestly an option. So yeah. And Mel did paint it all. Yeah. Mel painted it all. It looks amazing. Dustin shared some pictures of future scenarios in the Discord, our producer Discord. And I'm like, man, that looks amazing. I want to play more Descent, but just, I can't do it on stream. The game is not like a stream friendly game. I guess we could play and like film it different too. And like I could edit later and stuff, but that's like a lot of work for like an expansion that maybe not a lot of people are interested in. I don't know. We have other dungeon crawling campaign games we can play for sure. There's more coming out all the time. So like I can get my fix in another game, but I do want to play that game. Are you going to post her painted minis, please? Did she not paint those all on stream? I think those are all painted on stream. No, did she not do a whole stream series painting those minis? I can't remember. Check the playlist section. Maybe I could find out for you right now. Rob's gaming table Descent. I don't know. So I just went to the playlist section. Where is it? In here, maybe? Oh yeah, right here. There's a whole playlist. 6 videos. 6 videos. Yeah, just check out the playlist section. It's there. Yeah, Mel. Yeah, you can watch hundreds of hours of paint drying. The most exciting content you've ever seen. No, I'm just kidding. That's my joke. I'll never quit beating that dead horse. But yeah, so you can see Mel painting it here. And you could just scrub to the end of streams and see them fully painted if you want. I know it's a little bit of work, but yeah, that's where I'll direct you. Because the more views that gets, the more Mel will paint more stuff and be more excited. So yeah, go hit the like button on those videos, Heather, and help other people find them and share them and help Mel be more motivated to paint for you guys on stream. Yeah, no worries, Heather. No worries. No worries. The beauty of YouTube, we live stream all the time, but it's always there scheduled later and you can scrub through it, watch it at your own convenience. You just got to click a little bit to find it. But yeah. They're good background ASMR. I agree with that. I agree with that. Sometimes when she's streaming, I stay out of the chat, but I'm there lurking and like, I just have it on while I'm doing other stuff. And yeah, it's good for background for sure. For sure. I like the way people play those streams while they're painting. I think that's like the coolest thing for sure. That people are like in the middle of painting or like assembling miniatures and stuff while they're watching. I love that stuff. That's so neat. That's how people enjoy it. Oregon State says back this or buy now from their website. Any benefit to backing it? Oh, I don't know. What is the price on their website? Is it different? I mean, one, you won't have to wait. But if you back it, it will come later, but it'll probably have an errata pack included, right? If you back it and buy the errata pack. Or maybe the new printing doesn't need an errata pack. Ah, there's a benefit. You will have no errata maybe in your set. I don't know though. Don't quote me on that. You'll have to find that out yourself. I don't make this game, so don't trust everything I say. I'm just a consumer and play it like you. I don't know. Buy now. Let's see. I have no idea. It's $20 more expensive, and it's only the first edition. So I don't know if it's just a rat of corrections. I don't know what's in the second printing of the core set, but maybe it's super easy to check like the FAQ. Is there a errata pack for my copy of the first printing? Will it include books? There's a card errata pack available as an add-on that includes any and all cards that change significantly between the first printing and the second. There you go. So if you wait for the second one, you'll have a more correct version. And you won't have to buy a separate errata pack, I guess. Updated versions of the rulebook and campaign guide. Yeah, they're not going to update the books for existing owners. You can just use the website, which I use it and I'm totally fine with it. I don't need the book. I kind of wish they didn't include the book because that would have been more environmentally friendly and cost effective if they didn't have to print and deliver and add weight to shipping and all that stuff. I find it silly that they did the whatever it's called, the Lure of the Valley campaign guide. I know some people like physical books and stuff and don't like to have a tablet or a laptop or whatever at the table. I understand. Or a phone or whatever, but if you're trying to be more environmentally friendly, you know, shipping lighter products, less manufacturing, even if it's using like sustainable paper, you still need machines, electricity, and production and transportation and, you know, boats and trucks and all that stuff to get that rule book or the campaign book to you. They want to be super environmentally friendly. This whole game would come in like a tiny box, you know, just a deck of cards, you know, big fat deck of cards, and the rule book and everything would be online. Kind of like how like Magic the Gathering and those kind of starter sets come. They have like barely any rules in them and stuff. They're just the cards and some crappy tokens, and then the rest you have to figure out on your own digitally or buy or whatever. Of course, that's not environmentally friendly, but it's just less footprint. And then they can update it, right? They can always update it and keep it correct. So if they wanted to adjust the rules, they could do it instead of, you know, but people like their physical stuff. So yeah, that's what I would say. So if you buy it now, the errata is not bad. The errata is not a lot, and they have cards available online. You can print out the corrective versions if you want. So you don't have to wait for an errata pack. I didn't wait. I just printed out cards. So for example, this mission we're on, none of this I don't think is really spoilery. Let's see the way I just slid. I printed it on at a local print shop, and I just used the cheap printer to save money. But the problem is it always shrinks everything a little bit. So when I cut it out, it doesn't fit perfect, but it was functional. So you could just print black and white even probably and slide this in into the card. But yeah, I just do that. Or you could just look up the correction when you're playing. But I just slid them in the sleeves and it totally works. Like they have full color printable cards, and you'll probably print it better than I will, if that makes sense. So we have those. So you don't need to wait. If you want the game now, go buy it, print out the corrections, or just have them available beside you when you're playing, and use the digital books, and you're fine. If you want a perfect core game, not perfect, but like it probably will have less errata, so you don't need to print new cards, you don't need new rule books. If you want to play with a proper campaign guide that's not full of errors, I don't think the other one's that bad either, compared to some other games we back on crowdfunding, right? Then wait for the second one. Also, the second one's supposedly $20 cheaper, but I don't know what shipping rates are in both cases. So it depends where you live, right? So yeah, that's Oregon State. That's what I would kind of say there. So it's up to you. Do you have time to play it right now and you can't wait? And you want to know if it's great? Go buy it now, try out a few sessions, and then back the expansions if you want more. You'll have months before they close the late pledging for sure. Like if any other campaigns, any indication, right? So if you buy off their website, you get it in a few days, crack it out, learn it, play a couple sessions, decide. You can even play the standalone sessions, so you don't even start the story yet, and decide if the game works for you, or play the tabletop simulator demo if you're into that, which I'm not, but some people are, and try it out there. You can actually try it for yourself and see if you like it. And if you feel like you can wait for it, then wait for it. You'll get the better printing and all the expansion stuff at the same time. So me, I kind of wish I waited, to be honest. I would be okay not playing this right now. I have many other games to play. I'm sure you do too. I kind of wish I waited for the second, more corrected printing. And then I could take the Ranger cards and have them in right from the beginning and have more choice to choose from when starting the campaign, more player cards. I wish I had those path deck cards already included, those cool new little path expansion. I wish I could experience that from the first playthrough on, because I think you would have the better experience from a deck builder point, from a decision choice point, from a variety of content you see every time you play. I wish I had that all at the beginning when I first experienced the game. Is it bad that I don't? No, I'm still having a great time. But it sucks that some of that campaign stuff, or some of that, sorry, expansion stuff, I'll get after I've already finished the campaign once. And realistically, I'll probably never play that first campaign again. But I know I'll probably still see some of that expansion content in the second campaign. So it's fine. Like, I'm fine with it, but yeah, so it's up to you. If you want to experience like more stuff in your first playthrough, and have more cards to build from and deck building options from the start, then back here and get it all later, you know? That's probably the best way to do it. But yeah. Yeah. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. That's kind of like how I'm going at it. That's how I kind of think based on what I've played so far. But again, if you're like, I need to have it now and you're going to play it now, don't buy it on their website now and it's going to sit there for a year and you won't get to it. In that case, just back it instead, right? And get the better printed version. So only you know the answer to that. Look at your habits, right? I think I'm going to finish getting caught up on Arkham LCG. I'm one cycle behind release. Oh, damn. Yeah. So you got other games to play. Don't feel FOMO, right? Don't give in to the fear of missing out. No. And again, it'll come to retail too. Just tell your local game store, go back a retailer pledge for you later. I'm sure there'll be ways to get into that too. But yeah, they said they're going to have it on late pledges for a while. I don't know how long, don't quote me, but they did say there's going to be a window. So yeah. So you can decide in like a month or two and be like, yeah, I think I'm going to back it now, or I'll wait or whatever. Or you might decide in a week you might want to have it now. Yeah, that's your choice. Backing it gives you plenty of time. Yes, that's right. That's right. Cynthia, hello. So yeah, I don't know. Anything else? Any questions? Don't come to the stream tonight where we're playing it and start asking me my thoughts on this crowdfunding campaign. I'll tell you where to go. To this live stream that we just made. And you'll hear all this all over again. Just kidding. Anyways, I don't know what else to say. That's kind of all I got for now. So I'm probably going to back the expansion stuff. I'll probably back everything for somebody who bought the core set at retail, basically. So whatever that pledge was. And I'm still not sure about the playmats. I know I went back and forth on them in the first campaign. I didn't get them, but then I kind of wanted them. But George is mentioning things too that's like, yeah, maybe I'll have to zoom out more on stream so it doesn't work. Maybe I just get the common area one, and that might be fine to keep it a little more organized. Or maybe yeah. And do I buy the art book? I want it. But if I'm going to get that after our playthrough of the first campaign, will I even be reading about any of those locations in that book? I don't know. I don't know if it's like, if it's too late when it shows up, you know? Again, I wish I had that lore book beforehand, but like I didn't know I would be so into the game at the time. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm not going to lose sleep over not having any of those things. The game is still solid from the core set on its own. It's definitely a better core set than what I've experienced from FFG's core sets for their LCGs, if that makes sense. This is like a full campaign board game in a box versus like FFGs that are like a taste of a campaign. It's like, you know, here's a 3 scenario test and a handful of player cards that you can't really deck build. But you're going to buy more stuff soon. Don't worry. That's the idea. But in this, it feels like more like a complete full game. I don't know. It's interesting. Definitely a better offering. Yeah, Pontus is speaking the truth. Pontus, I know how you feel. Pontus says, I'm tempted to back it, but I have so many games to play. Yeah, and don't. I don't care either way. Either way, back it or don't, I don't care. I'm just here to give information to those who join our live streams, who keep asking, and I know will be asking over the next month or so while this is on crowdfunding. We'll come into our streams and go, Rob, tell me about the game. I need to know. Talk about it. Tell me your thoughts. Should I back it now? Should I? What do you think? I can just go click the playlist down below and find the video where I talk about it. That's what this is. Yeah. Yeah, Cynthia says, I appreciate you playing it on stream so that I know it's not actually for me. Exactly. That's the stuff I love to hear. Yeah. Pontus says, I mean, I love the game. I know. So then there's the other thing, right? It's like, if you want games like this, you want this publisher, it's literally a small publisher, this is like their first game. If you like this idea and you like the game, there's also the argument of like backing it to support the company and show them you want them to make more stuff like this. So it's like, you know, like if you go to CMON on one of their crowdfunding campaigns for, you know, the 37th version of Zombicide reskin, and you buy a copy, do you think that's impacting them as much? Or are you just another pre-order number and literally it doesn't matter if they have 100 pre-orders or 10,000 pre-orders, because either way they're doing a giant print run that's going to show up in retail and be on store shelves no matter what. They're just looking for you to help pay for some of that print run, right? These guys, on the other hand, if you don't back them now, there's a chance they won't be in business in a year. Like, honestly, it happens a lot in crowdfunding, right? With smaller companies. If the print run's not big enough, they get no profit. And then they don't have money to fund their next games and stuff. So like, there is that side of it here that I don't always bring up. And again, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know their financials. Maybe they're like loaded and you know, they have investors and they're working on 45 games and they're buying factory space. Like, I don't know. But this is a little different than some other crowdfunding campaigns where it's like, you're actually funding a small publisher trying to make something that they couldn't just get into retail otherwise, probably. Yeah. Or it'd be hard for them to, right? And it'd be riskier. They're doing this to reduce some of the risk. So if you like believe in the game and you think you'll play it eventually and like you want them to kind of bring this kind of theme to other games maybe and stuff, like that's another reason why maybe backing it now would be different, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. But I like what they did. I like what they're doing. They actually produced like a pretty decent product with minimal errata, which is crazy to me for like their first game, quote unquote. But I know they're like industry veterans, right? So it's like, you'd expect them to kind of know what they're doing. It's not just like a husband and wife duo that are like, let's make a board game, honey. And like, but honey, you never went to game design school or anything. I know, but I play a lot of board games and you make good art. Let's just slap a game together and it'll work, right? People will love it because we love it. And it's like, These guys have like made tons of the most popular games and worked on some of the biggest IPs and popular games in our hobby, right? So there is that. There is that. But yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lazy Cat. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's why, like, that's why I didn't get the playmats on the first run, because I was like, I don't usually find playmats are like, they're great, like, for playing and organizing a game. And like, it's a very small niche, right? That need to care about how it looks on camera, right? Yeah. Yeah, Edward knows. Edward knows. Yeah, gaming pedigree is strong for them. Yeah. But again, they don't work for a big publisher at this point. At this point, right? Mark my words. In a year from now, let's meet up again. Let's see how long it takes for Asmodee to buy them up. Let's see how long that takes, right? It's like, if this game is good and their next game is good, how long before another publisher buys them? And then they're looped in with the big companies anyway. And then I'm sitting here bitching about their crowdfunding. They don't need our money. Why are they making crowdfunding? It's just pre-orders. Get out of here. We'll see though. But yeah. Anyways, that's it for me today. Until our stream later tonight. But anyways, thank you all for watching. If you're looking for that stream, you want to watch our playthroughs, there's a playlist linked in the video description where you can find all our Earthborne Ranger playthrough series down there. And especially if you want to see it played, you want to see how the game works, our initial thoughts, and a drawn out 2-episode long playthrough of the first day, explaining everything with the game, going over cards in our decks, all that stuff. And you want to fully engross yourself and understand this game before even backing even just a core set or buying it, check out that playlist down below. You'll get all that in the first episode or two with minimal spoilers. We're just playing like kind of the tutorial first day. And we do take it slow. We're teaching the game and everything. So scrub through stuff you're not interested in. But yeah, we definitely deep dive into it at the first. It's not just a quick and dirty sales pitch. Like, if you want to do the research and work to understand if it's going to be for your gaming group or your table, it's all there. And then you can join us after you get your game and you play through it and you want to see our playthrough of it, full of spoilers. It's there. We're currently playing through it right now. And if you want to join us tonight for that and you want to continue watching, we'll be playing tonight and more later this week for sure. So, but yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. If you're watching this later, which I know a bunch of you will be, leave your comments down below. Did you play it? Are you backing anything? Did you like it? What are your thoughts on the game after playing it? Show me some different opinions. Show some people other different opinions. So if you're watching this later, check the comments down below. Turn on the chat archive. I should have said that at the beginning. Because yeah, you'll get some other people's thoughts on it too. More than just mine, right? I'm just one gamer. I just play with my wife. We're having a good time with it. And yeah, but we have different tastes, different likes, backgrounds, all that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.